Hello everyone, this is Eagle Al. I was going to make a video on a topic that is very heavily shown throughout the news currently and has been for some years now, and it's the topic of illegal immigration. Often when that topic comes up, people who are on the left, progressive, they do not make the distinction between immigration and illegal immigration. Now, most countries in the world have borders and have policies that prevent people from just walking into their country and staying. Most countries in the world have this policy. But when America has this policy, we're supposed to be thought of as bad or racist. America is one of the most welcoming countries in the world. We take in more immigrants, meaning legally, we take in more immigrants than probably about any nation on earth. A lot of people don't know this, but if you look up Mexico's immigration policies, if you just read the policies but didn't say which country they belong to, people would probably assume that it was talking about America, and they would think that those policies were extremely racist. In Mexico, if you sneak in and you were found out that you were there, you will be physically shipped right back. It doesn't matter, no questions asked. You might even be put in jail for it. If you sneak into Mexico without permission, you will not get a single free benefit. You will not get free health care. You will not get free schooling. You will not get food stamps. If you try to take down one of their flags in a government center and replace it with an American flag, you will do hard time in jail. Like, they won't play no games. In Mexico, you are not allowed to be a police officer. You're not allowed to be a captain of any ship, like any military ship. You're not allowed to serve in their military. You are not allowed to be a politician. You are not allowed to be a judge. Even if you become a legal immigrant there, they can ship you back and remove your status at any time for no reason whatsoever. Their policies are very strict. In some countries, if you sneak in unwanted and you're found out, you do hard time in prison. In most countries, if you do that, you don't receive any benefit whatsoever. But here you do. Now, often the term undocumented is the phrase that people like to use because it takes away any responsibility or any guilt or any wrongdoing from the illegal immigrant. If you say, well, they're undocumented, it almost sounds like we messed up. Oh, we just neglected to document them, or we just didn't have them. We didn't know. We didn't have them down on paper. It takes the blame off of them and puts it on someone else. Okay, so reasons why not having a border and just saying, hey, if you want to come, just walk in. We're not going to check. All these people who are just pro-immigration, which means pro-illegal immigration, just like, come, we don't care, welcome, open arms. Here's some of the negative side effects. One, the more people that do it, these are people that mostly are taking entry-level jobs and hard labor jobs. There's this thing called demand. There's supply and demand. If there's this much demand for something, but there's this much supply for it, that affects the prices. It makes the price go way down. If you got way more workers than there are positions open, you can afford to lower you're paying wage because there's an overabundance of workers. There's way more than you need, so it brings wages down on everybody else. It brings wages down on certain types of jobs lower and lower if people know that many illegal immigrants are going to take those positions. Also, it raises everybody's taxes, okay? A lot of folks who come here illegally are on receiving benefits. Those benefits have to come from the government. All money that the government hands out comes by the way they get their funds are from taxing the people. So it makes everybody's taxes go up. If we had way too many people here than what there should be, also it would affect house prices. There would be a limited amount of houses available for way too many people looking for houses. And it would allow them to be able to raise the price on houses. So it would affect that too. Another thing is diseases. I'm not saying anything bad in general. Some people that come here have no diseases and some do have it. But one of the reasons we want to check everyone that comes into the country is because if you have a dangerous disease and we know about it, you can be quarantined, you can be treated, it can be stopped right then and there. If we don't know about it, then you're just going around and you're spreading it to everyone. In recent years, illnesses that were almost wiped out in America, measles, chickenpox, a few others, cases of some of the illnesses that we had 99% under control are starting to spike again. One of the reasons that they're starting to spike is because a lot of people are coming in unchecked for diseases, and they're coming from countries where those diseases are not, for the most part, kept in check. So it's bringing that up, okay? Now, I'm not here to sway the facts, mislead with the facts, and I'm not here for propaganda. See, the thing is, a number of the people that come here illegally, against our laws, knowingly breaking our laws, a lot of folks that do that, a lot of them have no nefarious intentions. They have no desire to break a law or do anything criminal. They're looking for a good paying job and a nicer lifestyle. But simply looking for a nicer lifestyle is not a good enough reason to knowingly break a country's laws and just come in. It's a law and you should abide by it. But along with the people that are coming just to have a better lifestyle, there's lots of people that do come that are in gangs. There's lots of people who come to escape the law in their own country. There's lots of people who come here that are criminals, and they know it's harder for them to be caught if they commit a crime because we don't even know they're here. We don't know who they are. We don't know they exist. And it's so much easier to do your crime activity when you're in the shadows and people can't, find out who you are. A good majority of the people who come here by illegal means, they're being brought here by what's called coyotes. These are criminal-minded men who are ruthless and don't have a heart. They demand a large sum of money to get you here. They don't care about human lives. People die overcrowded in hot trucks. I've heard cases of the semi-truck is locked in the back and they promise you, to get you here, and it's like $1,000 a head, and they stuff 100 of them in a truck, and as soon as you get across the border, the driver just shuts off the truck and bails. Well, they got their money, and then you got people dying in a hot semi-truck, sitting shoulder to shoulder. A lot of the women that come here illegally, the same ones that are paying money to coyotes, they are getting raped They're getting physically abused. Okay, there's that. A lot of people that are males in their late teens and early 20s are actually in gangs, and when it comes to like heroin and cocaine and fentanyl and a few other key drugs, when you look up the numbers, the majority of the common illegal drugs that are consumed in America don't originate in America. A majority of them originate in Central America, and they're coming up through those countries, and then they're sold here. Okay, so 90% of our illegal drugs are coming up from Central America. So that's happening also. When a citizen gets on a plane and wants to travel from one state to another, they treat you like you are guilty until you can prove that you're not up to wrong. You got to take your shoes off. They sometimes pat you down. They ask you all these questions. They read your body movement. You got to go through all this stuff to prove you're not up to anything bad. When you're a citizen, just because you want to travel from one state to another, or if you want to travel from one state here like to another country, and it's like it's so important. We got to know where you're going. We got to prove that you're not lying. Meanwhile, it's like, but if you want to just sneak right in unannounced, you're able to waltz right in. You're able to sign up for all kinds of free benefits, and it's no problem. You're good to go. But yet I got to be treated like a criminal and given the third degree just because I'm going to travel on the plane. You feel like it's freaking World War II Germany era, the way they treat you when you want to fly. And that's not right either. I know like when I was growing up, most people were opposed to illegal immigration, but the tide has been turning where a lot of people are for it. Another thing is they keep using this argument, oh, we're separating families. Well, when you're an adult and you commit a crime, you go to jail, or you receive the punishment, and you are separated from your kids. They can't come with you. It's just, they unfortunately have to reap the consequences of your actions. If you rob a bank or you burn someone's house down, you go to jail and you are separated from your kids. Your kids are innocent of any wrongdoing, but a family is still being separated, okay? When you come here illegally, you know you are doing it illegally. And instead of putting the blame on the person who's putting their kids at harm by knowingly going against the country's wishes and breaking their laws, instead of putting the blame on the parents that know they're doing wrong, they turn it around and put the blame on us for being so cruel. Well, you know what you're doing. Don't put your kid at risk. Just don't do it. The main reason they focus on separating families, and the main reason they focus on the kids, it's to pull at people's heartstrings, so you'll go along with this new agenda. Another main reason that the Democrats / progressives / socialists, the reason that they are so often for illegal immigration is because 90% of all people who come here illegally, 90% of them support the Democratic side. And in areas where they are allowed to vote, they are going to vote Democrat. So if you can get the percentage of people that live in America, if you can get that percentage of people who are pro-Democrat higher and higher, you can guarantee that your party stays in power longer. So we're being fed a whole bunch of lies, and they're pulling at our heartstrings. But it's all a nefarious agenda, and the politicians that are supporting it, they know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to make our side look bad and guilty and evil. and they're playing with everyone's emotions and they're playing with everyone's minds, but they know what they're doing. So it doesn't make you racist if you are opposed to illegal immigration. Most countries have very strict policies against illegally entering their country. It doesn't make me racist. I don't choose what race of people are trying to break in. And you can't say, oh, you're against people from this country or that country. No, they're just the ones that happen to be trying to break in. So that's just a little bit kind of touching on the topic, but just don't fall for the propaganda that's being spread all over the news. This is Eagle Out. Thanks for watching.